Hi, everybody. Welcome. It is November the 7th, and I'm here to tell you about my stitching and my finishing today. I had a bingo call today for one of my most recent new starts. I started this while I was on a retreat. It's called Peacock. It's a cottage garden sampling pattern. I think it's a beautiful pin keep. And I just did my 100 stitches I needed today. I put in 107 stitches. I did some more on the face, and then I came down the neck with that light blue color and just kept coming down until I finished out my thread. But I did the face and finished a lot of the neck, filled in some of the neck. So just working a little bit on it. I only did 100 stitches today because I wanted to fully finish something. I have my stitching meetup this Saturday, and I wanted to fully finish a piece that I finished stitching recently because I'd like to gift the pattern away at my stitching meetup. And so I went ahead and fully finished in Autumne. And this is how I did it. I found this little trivet. It's a little trivet. It's got feet on it at Hobby Lobby. And it was $5.49. And I thought this is the perfect size. And it is wide enough to stand up on its own. I'm going to move you where you can see that. See, it's just standing up on the desk. Or I can use it laying down because it's got the little feet on it. I can just lay it on a shelf or a table topper for Halloween. But I just thought it was so cute. And I loved the green. There's a little touch of green in there. So I found this beautiful ribbon, green and off-white ribbon. And I just ruched it around the edge, pinned it in, just attached it with my stainless steel pins. And then I glued the whole thing to this trivet. I didn't use magnets. I just glued it down because this is not going to be changed out or anything like that. I just think it's a really cute piece. So I'll be taking this Saturday for the brag table. I want to show them my most recent finish. So I wanted to get that done. I did another fully finished today, but I can't share it with you. It's an exchange piece. And so I wanted to get it fully finished, and I did. And then I spent some time today cutting ribbons and mini pom-pom trim and all for our finishing tutorial on Saturday. The little pieces that I had to finish cutting because I ran out when my friend Donna and I were doing it together. And so today I'm finishing that up. So now it's supper time. I'm going to take a break and have supper with my hubby. And then we are going to watch Survivor. We always watch it on Thursday night because we don't have the cable. So we have to wait till it's live streaming. So we're a day behind, but that's okay. So we'll watch that tonight. And then if I have any more time in my sewing room, I'll come back up here. And if not, I'll be up here first thing in the morning. I don't know what the call is yet for tomorrow. It's too early to know what I'll be stitching on tomorrow. But I will pick up something to share with you. Yesterday, after I finished stitching for my bingo game, I had time that I wanted to stitch on something else. And so I pulled out my Christmas Parade, which is my 3-month to the finish line piece that's left. And I put some more stitching in it, and I'll share that with you now. I did this late last night. So here's where it is now. I added in the P and that heart that's hanging down on the end here, this one. And the little tree that's right above the raccoon's tail. Fox. That's a fox, sorry. The fox's tail. So I've worked my way down from the top down. And the next little thing that you'll see under that heart, there's another couple of motifs here. There's this one and these 3 letters. And then there's the bunny rabbit. So that's kind of what I'll do the next time I work on it. And it's still on my bingo board to be called. So there's a chance it could be called for tomorrow. I don't know. I have no idea what the number is going to be. But I'm loving it, and I'm loving that I'm getting across it. I'm making progress on it. So that's exciting. Very exciting for me. Okay. I think another thing I'm going to try to get done tomorrow is to take the time to film my new starts that I have planned and scheduled on my projected calendar for next year. There may be more than this, but these are those extra starts that I talked about in a recent little film that I did, a little segment that I filmed, where I talked about my different series pieces, and I showed you all of those that I would be working on in 2025. So the next thing I want to share with you are the additional new starts that I will try to pull into 2025 through my monthly assignments that I have said I want to do. And then the next little piece will be the other plans that I have for things like May Monday starts, or things for holidays like my birthday start and things like that. So I'll let you know that in an upcoming segment, and hopefully tomorrow if I get time to film it. So that's a plan. That's a hope that I have to do that. So I'm going to put this away now, go grab a bite to eat with my hubby, watch a little Survivor, and then maybe be back up here stitching. We'll see. In the meantime, until we speak again, happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is November the 8th, and I'm here to share with you some plans for 2025. I had mentioned before that I was going to share with you my new starts that I had planned that were not in a series. These were the additional new starts that I wanted to do just to make sure that I got started on them next year. I have additional things kitted for extras if I need things for either an acrostic or a stitch along or something of that nature, a pop-up challenge or something like that. But these are the ones that I actually have on the list that I'm hoping to start. And so I want to share those with you. So the very first one I would like to start as a potential Valentine's Day gift for my husband. Now, I don't know when I'll get started on it, so it may not be for this year, but I do want it for a year to come. I've shared this one with you before and just never got it started. So you may remember seeing it, but it is a little house Needleworks called Always and Forever. And they've stitched it in a variegated blue. And I have chosen to stitch it on a beautiful green fabric, and the name of the color is Adventuring. It's a Be Stitch Me fabric. It's beautiful, and I'm gonna do it with silk called South Pacific. I think that's gonna be a really pretty piece together. So that's my plan for that start. So my next one that's an additional width, and I'm going to put these in the box next to me, so pardon my turning, will be a gift. So sister, I need you to look away for just a minute and let me share this with everybody else. So my thought was to do this for my sister, and there we go. I think you can see it through the plastic. Isn't that precious? And I'm planning on doing it on this fabric, which I think is quite cute considering the name of the pattern. So that one is something I would love to stitch next year for my sister if I can get it finished in time, because I haven't even started on it. But maybe for next Christmas, who knows? So the third one that I had identified as an extra start is continuing my goal of getting a little more decorations stitched up for the different holidays. And this one is for St. Patrick's Day, and it's the St. Patrick's Day bird. I've done 2 other birds by this designer, and this one I haven't done yet, and I would like to do that. And I don't have it kitted yet, other than I have all the buttons and beads that I need for it. Then I have a beautiful that's interesting, because that's almost a series, because I did the mate to it before. But I would like to do Isabella's garden. And so this is, I've had this a very long time. I stitched the sister before. And I'm planning on stitching this on a beautiful linen called Properly Primitive. It's from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I just think that is gorgeous. And it's a big piece. I'll have a whole lot left over, but I just think it would look really, really pretty. This fabric. The picture on this one is a really dark green. And I didn't like that. I don't think the dress shows up enough on that one. So this has green in it. It's just not as dark. Just not as dark. Okay. The next one I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I've seen it done. Several different cross stitchers that have YouTube channels have done this one, and I absolutely loved it, and I have had it in my stash for a while, and I'm hoping my friend Donna might start it with me. I think she has it too. And this one is called Playing with Jacks, and I have it slated for September, actually, on my list. So I'm hoping that we can start it, together for that. And I found this most beautiful fabric to put it on. It's a very unusual choice for a Halloween piece, but I think it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And all of these colors are going to pop on here. They're going to look beautiful. And I think all the oranges and everything will show up really well on this fabric. This is a Fabrics by Stephanie as well, and it is called Stardust, in case you were wondering. And that one is fully kitted. So let's see, I skipped a page. I wondered how I got to September so quickly, but I had turned 2 pages over. So one of the things that I had said I wanted to stitch on next year were these project bags. And this is the spring one, and it's on a pink bag. And I have the pink bag to stitch it on. And I have all of the appropriate Week Style Works pearl cottons. And I have another 2 bags in my stash, one big and one small, to go with it. So I want to see how this works out see how I like it before I start both of them. And then another one is another potential gift down the road for my sister. So Stephanie, if you'll look away again. I got this one when we were at Garon's. That's my measurements there, so I could pick the right fabric. But this is the cutest little thing. And I'm doing that on this fabric. This is that, it's a Zweigert, and it's called Splash Mint with white dots. I just think that's gonna look really cute. And I believe that is called for. I don't usually do that, but I did on that time. Okay, sister, you can look back now. Then I'm hoping to do a patriotic piece. Always try to do at least one of those a year if I can. And this one is called America. I got this when we were at the Silver Needle. And I'm just doing it on a beautiful remnant. It's a 36 count linen. I'm doing one on 36 count now, which is my Autumne in the Village, and I'm doing okay with it. So I'm going to try this one and do the America on it. And it comes with a little star charm. So that would be my patriotic piece for next year. Next, I'm hoping to stitch another thing for my stitching room. I like doing that at least once a year as well. And this one is a Teresa Kogut. You know, I love Teresa's stuff. And this one is Needle and Flax. It's not new. It's probably a couple of years old. But I'm really looking forward to stitching it. And I actually have a beautiful remnant from a project that I stitched earlier in the year, and it's called Autumne. And this is what I'm going to do it on. I think that's going to look beautiful with those reds and golden colors. They're deep, dark colors. I think they'll show up really well on this fabric. And that way I get to use my remnant from my piece that I cut. That is a Bestitch Me fabric, by the way. Then I have a couple more I want to share with you. One is an Easter one. It's called Chicks. My friend Mary gifted me this. She stitched it, and I just thought it was so cute. And she was kind enough to share it with me. And I'm going to stitch it on a Belfast 32 count linen called Sprite. And this is also Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. I have it in my Easter egg bag. I try to match my bags to my projects. It helps me be able to identify them when I'm looking for them in my bins. And then the last one I have slated for an extra is called For a Friend, Friendly Blooms. I think that's really pretty. And I'm just going to do that on a remnant of Brittany Ivory. And this one's a 28 count. I picked this up off a freebie table. And I want the pillow to be nice and big. And so this is what I'm going to stitch it on. It is really pretty color. And I think it's going to look so pretty with those blues. I wanted something that kind of looked like the picture. I've got my specialty floss pulled. So there you go. Those are the extra 12 pieces that I have identified for the year. that I'm hoping to do just as an extra start throughout the month, so that I get 12 more things started to work on. And that should bring all of my plans to completion as far as sharing with you everything that I have planned to do. I do have a full accompaniment of 2 full bins over there of kitted projects that didn't make the list this year. And so I'm hoping that they'll be there ready to go for 2026, at least as a start of things to do. And they're there in case I change my mind. I always reserve the right to change my mind. If something happens, if a stitch along happens, or if I decide to do something for a gift for somebody, you know, I could change it up, and that's okay. That'll be fine. I would like to share with you what I'm going to do for my birthday start this year. So I have shared this one with you before, and I never got it started. And so now I'm going to get it started for my birthday. And it is Rosie Rhapsody. And I have decided I'm only going to do this part at the top because I want it to be sort of a companion piece to go maybe to exchange out for my dogwood that was in a Rosewood Manor as well. And it was kind of this size right here. But the other big reason I'm only doing that is that I have a beautiful picture frame I got at the resale shop, the Habitat for Humanity resale shop. It is a huge frame, and it's got all these beautiful filigrees in it, and it has a center section for a picture. And there's a little picture in there now, but I can replace it with my cross stitch, and everything will fit if I only do that top portion. So this is what I'm going to do it on. This is Box Turtle Opalescent fabric from Dames of the Needle. And yes, you can see all those gold flakes in there. And I am stitching it with a Silken Colors that is called Camouflage. And I think that will be beautiful. I cannot wait to see it. So I know a lot of you do red sampler walls, and I've done some red stitching, you know, before. But I love using up some of my silks in my collection. This was gifted to me, this silk. I think I should have plenty to do the piece with, and I'm looking forward to it. So I will start this for my birthday. Now, on my birthday, I will be on a cruise ship. So I don't know whether I'm going to take it with me or not, because I'd kind of like to put this one on a roller frame. I could probably start it on the trip, but we get off the ship the day after my birthday. So I'm more likely thinking I'll wait till I get home to start it, but I'll let you know. I may not be able to. I may just want to start it so bad that I take it with me. But that is what I'm planning for my birthday start. And I had asked if any of you would like to stitch along with me for a birthday start. It's the 14th of December is my actual birthday, but anytime in December that you want to do it is fine. And I had mentioned that I thought it would be fun if everybody just picked one of their favorite designers and start either something new by them or stitch on a whip by them for my birthday. And if you are going to do that, or when you do that, if you'll just put it in the comments for me and let me know what you did, I would love it. That would be such an awesome way to celebrate my birthday. So I hope you'll join me for that. So that is it for this little segment of planning. I hope you've seen something you liked. It's certainly an eclectic collection of things, but that's the way I stitch. I don't just do one style or another. I hope that is of interest to some of you, that you get to see a variety of things. And so there you go. I'm going to get off the phone now. I'm recording on my phone, so I'm going to get off of it now because I'm expecting my sister to call any minute, and we'll be chatting for the morning. And then today, I have to go get my driver's license renewed. Got the notice in the mail, and I have to go in person because I'm of the age where you have to have an eye test. And so they have you look in the little viewfinder, I think, and make sure you can see well enough to drive. But we're going to try to get that done this afternoon. So I'm going to get busy stitching. My call for today in bingo is for my spring Quaker. So I'll be pulling that out here in a second, and I'll be stitching on that while I talk with my sister. So in the meantime, until you and I talk again, happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everybody. It's just a little bit later in the day on the 8th, and I am excited to share with you that I got a phone call today from Hobby Lobby, and Mindy called to let me know that my latest framing piece was ready, and I wanted to share it with you. I stitched this a while back, and it was the one I had picked out to take with me to Alabama. I was going to take it over to the framer that does the framing for Garan Stitchery. And I forgot it and left it on my ironing board. But since I had it out and I had ironed it and I had already thought about where I would put it in my house, I went ahead and I took it over there. And I got it back today. It still has the plastic on it. I'm going to leave it covered up until I'm ready to hang it on the wall. But this is a welcome home. And I love the fact that I was able to find the matte in the exact color of the blue in the piece. And the frame has the green that's in there. I have used this frame before. I used it on my an Easter piece that I did. That was a Mirabilia, Gathering Eggs. I used it for that. And so I thought, well, I obviously like it because I picked it again. This was the frame and mat that I picked out at the shop when I was having such a hard time. Get it closer so you can see a little bit better. Deciding what to do, and this was the first one I really liked, and I kept looking because I was a little worried about the colors being so different, but I actually think it looks great with the piece. As it turned out, there was a lady there framing some stitching herself, and she and Isabella came over and gave me their opinion as well. And it was funny because this was the first one I really liked, but I wasn't sure it was perfect. And I had 3 choices for them to look at, and both of them grabbed this one. Said, this is it. So always go with your gut, I guess. Anyway, so that's my latest FFO. Thanks for letting me share that with you. I am currently stitching on my spring Quaker, and I'm going to go back to it. I stopped what I was doing to run over to Hobby Lobby just to pick that up. So now I'm back, and I'm back stitching, and I will hopefully have some stitching to share with you later. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I wanted to share with you that I did finish my bingo stitching today on my spring Quaker. I'll remind you what it looks like. And I had stitched down through this motif here. And so and I had done this word. Or no, I think I have to do that word. Anyway, I wound up stitching this motif and this motif for 318 stitches because I needed 300 stitches in this to make my prompt in the daily 30. So let me just share with you what that looks like on here. So I do have that word. So I'm working my way over another row over this way, and I wound up getting 2 motifs completely finished in there, which is wonderful for 318 stitches. So now I'll put it up again, probably until next month, I guess, until I do another acrostic with it. And hopefully I'll put another 300 or so stitches in it, maybe finish another big motif or a couple of small motifs, whatever's next in the pattern. The next thing I want to share with you that happened today is I decided, since I told you about my birthday start, I decided to do some test stitching on this fabric with this silk because the silk is variegated in color. And you know, when I did my pandemic, I picked this beautiful blue that went from pale blue all the way to dark blue. And I did it on a beige fabric. Unfortunately, the pale blue was so pale that from a distance it disappeared. And I felt like if I finished it and put it up on the wall, the pale blue would not be there and the design would look like it had big holes in it. So I ended it after about 6 pages and I made a big pillow out of it and it's over there on my bench. I didn't want that to happen again. So I pulled out my fabric tonight and I stitched an entire strand of stitches that would go through the entire variegation of my floss. And I think you can see all of it just fine. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think that's going to be fine. And so now I have decided I'm going to take it with me. And hopefully sometime on my birthday, I'll officially start it. That I considered test stitching. Yes, there's a few stitches in it, but I just didn't want to waste time stitching on something, putting stitches in the fabric and not having them count for anything. So anyway, I've got my, pardon the zipper. I just realized I had the plastic pattern next to the plastic vinyl, and that's not a good, that's a recipe for disaster if you don't know that. Okay, so now that's my test stitching. It's done, and this will go with me on my trip. So that is my first piece that I have determined for sure I'm taking with me in my travels, because I don't need to start it till the very end of the trip, and I can do that if I have it with me. So the others that I'm thinking about taking, I'm not going to want to decide on until I get at least 1 more week of stitching done, because if I've stitched them for my bingo game already, unless I'm taking them with me just to put extra stitches in, then I'll be taking other things to stitch on. So that one has to wait just a little bit longer. So that is it for this evening. That's everything I had to share with you. And I will call it a night. Go spend some time with my family and start over tomorrow at our stitching meetup where my friend Donna and I are doing a finishing tutorial. So I'm looking forward to it. So until I have a chance to tell you all about that, happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. My name is Dina, and this is my channel about cross stitch. And today was a fabulous day. We had a stitching meetup at the library here in Gainesville, Georgia. And we had about 17 or so people there. And of the people that were joining us today, we had 9 ladies who had stitched a small pattern, a Christmas pattern called Merry, M-E-R-R-Y. And we taught them how to finish it in a really simple finishing technique that Donna and I learned in a class at the Silver Needle this summer. And it is an easel finish. And so we had a great time sharing that with everyone. Donna and I had prepared little kits like we had in our class with all of the little boards already cut. We used comic book board. We had fabric cut. We had the little mini pom-pom trim cut, ribbons cut. We had everything ready for them to finish. One of the ladies in our group donated the little pins or buttons, beads that were the little mint shaped beads that go on the top of the thing. Another lady donated the pins and beads for people to make their own topper to go on top of it with the bow. And one of our wonderful ladies donated the batting that we used to pad the little design. And so we had a fabulous time sharing our newfound knowledge on how to do this finish with the ladies that were at the stitching meetup that wanted to. I was tickled to death to have that many people. I really was. We had some folks that hadn't been there or hadn't decided to stitch it yet and wound up seeing it done and came up and got the pattern and got a finishing kit and the instructions and took it home with them to do later because they liked it so much. So that was wonderful. We taught the class. We got there at 10 o'clock. It took us a little bit to get set up. And we got there and got set up started about 10:30-ish. And by 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock, I think all 9 people had finished their product. And that was even with some that couldn't get there on time, and we were able to catch them up or sit with them one-on-one and do it. And so everybody that wanted to got to make a finish. It was wonderful. And it was so much fun doing it with my friend Donna. Thank you for doing that with me, Donna. So I was surprised that I had time to stitch. I had taken something with me just in case. And I'm so glad I did because I got time to stitch. It was wonderful. So I took with me my Zephyr Hill sampler. Now, you've seen this one because I did part 1 as part of my 3 months to the finish line. I thought I wasn't going to touch it anymore till maybe next year. But in planning for getting ready for my trip that I'm about to go on, I want smalls to take with me. And I already had this one started, so I just went ahead and started working on part 2. And I started on it last night. I got about 97 stitches in it last night. And I just said, you know what? I'm taking this tomorrow in case I get to stitch on it. And I packed it into my bag, and I'm so, so glad I did. Because today, I got another 221 stitches in this. So since you've seen it, it's had over 300 stitches, 318 to be exact. And since I'm joining it together, I went ahead and did part of the border at the top and the blue border that goes across the top. And then I came down here and joined up with the bottom to go across because I needed the ground to be connected correctly. So I'm trying to get that joint done where everything that I can is touching. So I've done this one. I've done this one. There is a break there because there's a pinwheel that's going to go up in there. And then I started with the ground here. And once I get all the green done in the ground, then I think I'm going to come over here and join up that flower. Then it'll all be enough for me to count off of, but everything that touches for that part 2 will be joined up together. And then I can take it with me on my trip, which is wonderful. So there it is so far. This is on a beautiful eucalyptus fabric by, I believe it's from Stephanie. Let me check my card to see. Because the fabric ticket is no longer on the fabric, but it is, no, it's by Atomic Ranch. So it's Eucalyptus by Atomic Ranch. It is 32 count Lugana. And so that's what it is. I just love the colors. I think they're so striking, different. So anyway, that's my stitching progress for the day. Oh, I am tickled to death to have that done. I'm going to put it away now in anticipation of maybe working on it one more time if I'm stitching with folks. But if not, it'll be ready to take with me. Pardon the zip. And I can go from there. I also used it for my bingo today because my call on bingo was whip of choice. So that worked out really well. Now, I have a little more stitching time for today. And so I have pulled out another one of my favorites that I want to get a little more work done on it. And it is my Batticuore pattern, All You Need Is Love. And I'm working on trying to finish this little girl. I'm working on her legs and shoes. and the last little layer on her dress, and I would love to get that done so I could do the little floor and go across here and get started on those hearts next. I think that would be fun to work on. My call for tomorrow, it's late enough that I already know what it is. My call for tomorrow is Miss Christmas Eve. So I will be pulling her out, and I will be putting at least 300 stitches in her because I'm using her for my acrostic as well. So I have to put that much into her. So I will do that. But I can tell you it's been a great day. Went with my friend Donna after we went to that stitching meetup. She and I were going to go to dinner together, and so we ran to Hobby Lobby first and went in the door, and we were shocked. That place was packed. I haven't seen it that busy. I can't remember when. There were several registers open, and the lines in every register was all the way back to the merchandise. It was just packed. Donna looked at me, and I looked at Donna, and I said, "You can tell it's Christmas, can't you?" She laughed. She said, "I'm going to be focused. I'm going to be laser focused. Let's go get what I need." She needed one finishing board for a project that we worked on when we got together. We all finished our board to put our Halloween piece on that she stitched and gifted to us as far as a kit. And she gave us all the boards she could find, and they were out of them. And so she never got hers. So today we stopped by to get hers, and hers is the only one stitched. So she's got to get hers painted and ready to finish it. She'd like to fully finish it and get it finished up for next year. And so we did that, and then we ran to dinner and had a lovely, lovely chat, and made some plans for things coming up in the near future, and then came on home. So I was able to watch another episode of Matlock with my hubby, and love all over Coco. She laid across my lap, and I just loved on her. And in fact, I sat there and watched a whole nother episode of the British Bake Off for this season, just because I didn't want to move. I love it when Coco cuddles. So I just sat there and loved on my little puppy. Well, that is it for this week. It is going to be Sunday morning before you know it, and we'll be heading off to church. So I'm going to try to wrap up this video, see if I have enough together to give you a video for the week and let you see what I've been up to, and get started on my next one. I so enjoy getting to share my stitching journey with you, and I appreciate the time you take to watch the videos. I love your comments. Please continue to do that. And I love hearing what you're doing too. So again, I've shared plans in this video. Please feel free to share your plans with me. If you do FlossTube, I'll be watching you. And if I haven't commented on your channel in a while, then please let me know you have a FlossTube channel. I may not have found you. Or, you know, sometimes I'm not finding that all of my channels I subscribe to are popping up in my feed, and I have to go look for people. So if you haven't heard from me in a while, you know, and you used to, then let me know, because it may be that you're not in my feed anymore. I haven't unsubscribed from anyone, but as you know, sometimes the logarithms do weird things. So, but I want to hear what your plans are for 2025. I'm excited about it coming up. Donna and I were talking at dinner tonight just about what she's hoping to do in the next year, and she's got some great plans too. So, in fact, I was inviting her to come and film with me soon, so I hope she will. So keep your fingers crossed. And if you know her, email her and tell her you want to see her. I'm still working on her to start doing her videos again, but until then, and even then, I hope she'll still continue to come and videotape with me sometimes. It's so much fun when we can do it together. Well, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a restful day tomorrow, and I particularly hope you get to stitch some. So in the meantime, until we can talk again, happy stitching, everybody.